Okay, well, I just dropped Eve and Justina off at the Odeon Cinemas, like an Art Deco place in Harrogate, where they're using some free tickets from Octopus to go and watch the Jurassic Park film. Very, very nice, but very hot. We just parked in Waitrose there, which is next to the, the Odeon Cinema. 2 hours free parking. Got some free coffee there as well. But I've just then, because I've dropped them off, come back, just drove to Knaresborough. On the outside of Knaresborough, you've got the Nid Gorge woodland. I don't think I've been here before, so I'm going to have a little bit of an explore. So it says I'm here. This little car park. Managed to park in a nice little shady spot under the trees and just have the coffee from Waitrose there and a sandwich. It's just after 11. I think the film starts at 11 now, so yeah, I'll just see what's what. I'm not sure how much of this will do, we'll go and have a little look. It's all the different steepnesses and things. You can see the river down there, actually. River Nid. Just runs through Knaresborough. When I drove here, I did come through Knaresborough briefly, and I saw all the boats and everybody rowing and all that on the and there's that famous gorge part in Knaresborough where you've got the big railway bridge and the castle and everything up high, and then you've got the big gorge down and people milling about and ice creams and all that. And yeah, there's a lot of people, and they were busy on the river rowing. Various little offshoot paths and things going different directions in the woods. Some little seats here, look. So we'll just come down here to the bridge. Now this was built as part of the Nid Gorge project in 1987 by the army. Must have just been a sort of voluntary project they had, and this is the only way of sort of crossing the river down here without sort of just walking across through the water itself. Yeah. Branches to this river off here, which would make it wider than you think it is. You think in the middle there, that's just like there, but actually there's a hidden bit around this side, and you can see it's eating into the bank there, trying to meander a bit further. But they're trying to protect the bank with the sandbags and all that there, and the logs. Presumably to protect the bridge, because the bridge ends here, but actually it's eating into this bank, which wants to make this side wider, so it's undermining the bridge. Yeah, so I'm not, so this is, you can go to Knaresborough to the left, Ripley to the right, and you can actually do, I think, Knaresborough Castle to Ripley Castle walk, but I'm not going to do that because it's quite long. I'm actually just going to go back across the river again and stick to the walks on that side. So yeah, so we're here, so you can do this big walk on this side, but we're not. I'm going to stick to the other side here, so I'm going to go back across the bridge and walk along. Just follow this orange route around. That's the plan. There's some notices up about if you've got a dog, don't let them go in the river if they've been undergoing a tick treatment, because then the chemicals gets in the water and kills all the insects. So it says one treated dog can kill 25 million insects if it goes in the water. So it says, you know, don't allow the dogs. Yeah. So trying to stop all the different forms of pollution, and that's one of them. You know, the treatments on the dogs, just going running in the water. Right. So I'll go back across. This path sort of follows the route of the river along, but it's come along here, but now there's a big bend in the river, and we're going to double back on ourselves, so the path's going to sort of curl right round there, as the river sort of loops around. I don't know if you can see it down through the trees down there. It's just down there. You can walk right next to the river if you want to, but actually I'm sticking to this big path so then you haven't got nettles or insects and all that around, plants on coming to your legs. So I'm just sticking to this one. But yeah, it's good to come on a shaded walk because it's going to be 30 degrees today, and it's already hotting up. It's about 20 past 11 now or something like that, and it's getting pretty warm. Gotta go up the hill here. Ooh. Yeah, it's just coming up this hill, getting again pretty high up on this side, but there is a reason for the climb here, which I'll show you shortly when I get to it. On this route, a historic location. The woods itself, well, you know, at least 1600 for a lot of it. There were some clearances of the oak woodlands, which were much older, by prisoners of war during the Second World War. And then there were some conifer plantations put in, you know, more recently, but it's still mainly deciduous woodland. They do think that there was an encampment here during the Civil War when there was a sort of siege on Knaresborough Castle and all that. Yeah, so you can go back down there to the bridge that way. Yeah, I see. Yeah, we'll keep going along here. Yeah, so I can go back down to the river. There's another little path down here, but I'll just stick to this middle route. And yeah, so it depends what you want to do, whether you want to go, you know, keep to the river or go to the middle route. I'll just do this forestry track along here. A few conifers in this bit, so this must be part where there's a conifer plantation. You can see them up there. Here as well. There's another path now coming up from the river and going up there, so I'm going to head up this one, head up to this historic point. It's quite a steep climb, this little bit. Whew. So often I've got one of these little water collectors to stop the path getting eroded, take the water off the side. When you come up to the top, you actually come to a little line of houses here at the edge of the woodlands, sort of fenced off, like a little estate, you can see. Now what I'm going to do is sort of go in the opposite direction, but it's still really a big loop around the kind of meander bend of the river. We're going to stay kind of on the top level now. I actually just came up there, so I quick look along here, but I'm actually going that way is the way back, even though counterintuitively it isn't, because we just come around like a big loop, and you sort of, you know, starting point was in that direction, so you think, oh, I'll go that way around, but you won't be able to get around. So we're going to go this way, see if we can get back to the car park. Right now is this historic site, Gates Hill Camp. Well, it's been known as that since the 17th century, but there's actually Iron Age earthworks here. They think there was a settlement because there's like flint artifacts and all that. In fact, that's a Stone Age, so, you know, an Iron Age settlement, but flint artifacts suggest Stone Age hunting. Cleared all the vegetation and had commanding views across the River Nid. It's the most southerly of its type, this hill fort. So yeah, and they also have Civil War coins and things here as well, which were found from 1644. And then during the wars, it was a firing range. Preparing for the D-Day landings, like practice areas. There was a tuberculosis sanatorium as well, which I think was this housing estate here, where that was. Yeah. So there we go. So we've got, this is like a reenactment of what the camp looked like. So this would have all been forested, and the people cleared it. Then you had the view down the river for safety and all that. Yeah, so there's a ditch still visible, and the ramparts and all that. Yeah, so Gates Hill Camp, and of course other things here as well. Coal mining in little pits, just little tiny pits. A couple of seams of coal. You know, only 50 centimeters thick. Not very much, is it? It's a little thin seam with all the depressions where people have like gone down and just sort of mined that particular seam in a little wells, basically a little mine. A few of them. Bell pits, basically. Yeah. Difficult to see what we're looking at here because we're in the middle of loads of trees and all that. But I think all the various earthworks and things around here were to do with the settlement, the Iron Age fort up here. But you can't really see much now. They built part of the housing estate on the site because this is the sort of top of it, and then probably under these people's gardens and houses. Yeah, if you dig down, you probably find stuff because this was the site of the hill fort. Yeah, got just some of the different histories. Yeah. Well, this bit's opened out into full sun now, and lots of spiky things coming out from each side of the path. But yeah, I didn't put my hat on because I thought I was going to be in the under the shade of the woodland. I mean, I have been mainly. It's just this little bit. Oh, okay. Well, back into the shady bit now. Somebody's been building a den on this part with old bits of twigs and things, and then there as well. Little dens. Right. I'm sort of near a road now, which means I must be coming back close to where the car park was. So I've probably just got to get down here a short distance and I'll be back. And it's quite good, you know, free parking there, and you can have a nice walk, either following walking along the river side, or you can walk to the central part of the woodlands, or you can walk along this top part. So there's various routes you can take depending on your fitness level or your mood or whatever. And then of course you can do longer walks as well, into Knaresborough or up to Ripley Castle as well. So yeah, okay, so back to the car park now. That was good. So that's Nid Gorge Woodland. It's a woodland trust site. I just drove up the Nid a little bit further, the River Nid, and I've come to Ripley. So there's like a castle and walled gardens here. I think you have to pay to get in. This is possibly the car park for it, I'm not sure. I've just parked for free on the road there. There's no WL lines on that bit. So we'll just have a look at some of the old stone buildings in Ripley and see where we can get to, so where we can explore. There's a famous ice cream shop here, I think, as well. But I mean, look at those buildings there. Look, the archway and all that. Yeah, so that car park is for Ripley Castle. It's got a little map of the village. It's actually not that good a map. You can't really get a spatial awareness of that map, can you? Village Ripley was in the Doomsday Book. There we go. So this is like a car park. It's got tariff supply and all that. I didn't park there. Probably have to pay wherever you drive in the little tour, but there's toilets and things down there. Oh yeah, there's like a pay and display thing. Let's go and see. I just parked on the road for free there. Let's go and see how much it would have cost to actually pay to park here. How much did I save by just parking there instead of here? Let's have a look. But, free for 15 minutes, but then £1 an hour, £1.20 for 2 hours, £2 for 3 hours. So it's actually quite cheap to do it. And there's like toilets, and I think there's a cricket club just there, cricket pitch. See people practicing on it. Yeah. So yeah, it's quite cheap to park there. But anyway, no cost where I've parked. So there we go, saved a £1. Right, let's go and have a look here. Ripley meats beef buns, barbecue items. Up there, Castle meets Ripley. It's like behind there, look, hidden behind there. Looks like there's a tree that's been, an old tree that's been grinding down here. Maybe a historic tree or something. Oh yeah, look at that. That amazing tree. They've blocked off the whole of this sort of square. Cut that right down. Maybe it's dangerous or something. You know, look at the size of that. All the fantastic wood and all that they've got here. So this is the historic square, and they've been cutting that down. They've got the stocks and the sort of cross thing outside the boar's head. Yeah, that's a big job. And of course, got the house there, so they have to do it very carefully, so they just bring things down, that damage in the house and all the other stonework. Probably they couldn't really throw things down onto this because it damaged it. They must have like lower things down. Okay, look at the chimneys on that. Chimney pots on that there. Look at that. The stonework on that. Yes, this is All Saints Church in here, little graveyard. The heat is unbelievable though, to be honest. The fact they cut that tree right down as well, look there. Some very old trees around this church, and they've had to sort of keep them looked after. Castle Close, that one. Incredible, isn't it? Yeah, but it's hot. It's about 26, 27 degrees now, just after 12 o'clock, Saturday 12th of July 2025. I might go and have a little look inside here to cool down. All Saints Church, everyone welcome. And it's got the sort of castle grounds there. We have been in before. We got in for free for a couple of things. I forget why now. And walked through the gardens. I forget why we did that. But yeah, go and have a look in here. It's got quite a fancy roof up on a normal wooden roof there, but you've got this sort of decorated ceiling above the altar and the choir area. Look at that. So there you go. So I guess part of like Ripley Castle heritage and all that. Tomb of Sir William Ingleby, 1546 to 1617. The All Saints banner. See what this is up here. Memory of John Ingleby, 1790 to 1817, his life. Elizabeth, 1800 to 1869. Baronet, Henry Ingleby. Yeah. All that. There's all these up here, these shields and what have you. Anyway, it's a bit cooler in here. Yeah, so it's 14th century, but it replaced a church that was older, I think, and there might even have been Anglo-Saxon church there. There was definitely a church mentioned in 790. Yeah, the noise of that tree grinding up and everything down there. Yeah. So this looks like the sort of entry to the castle and all that in here. I have to pay to get in, so I'll not be doing that admission. Let's have a look. Yeah. It's dragonfly. It's £9.50 apparently to get in to pay for the go into the castle and the grounds, or it's £6 if you just want to go to the grounds. You can sort of see in there anyway. Look at the castle through the gate. People have sort of paid to get in. Look there. Don't know if you can get like a membership or whatever, but yeah, you can sort of see some of it there. Look. The castle, and then there's like a tea rooms here. Tea room. And little shops, postcards and things. I think if you park here you have to pay as well as your entry fee. Pay and display car park. Handmade gifts and art. Tea rooms. £3.75 for a cappuccino. What if you wanted a soup? £7.50. Chips £4. We're all sitting outside. Wow. Well, there we go. The grounds are through that gate there. You can go through, and then there's like nice mixture of like woodland walks and little walled gardens and stuff through there. And I think we've been through that before. Yeah. That's quite interesting. And then I think down here is called Hollybank Lane, with like a public footpath which you can go down again to the river, and then through woodland walks and out into the countryside up that way. Takes you to a couple of little villages up that way. Yeah, so you can see another old tree they've had to cut down. Maybe looks like some of it might have fell in a storm there. It's pretty old, that one, isn't it? That church. Yeah, so we're just outside Ripley Castle here. So what have you got here? Hollybank Lane, National Cycle Work. You can go to Fountains Abbey and Ripon and all that this way. Public bridle way, so you got horses can go, bikes can go and all that. Yeah, I'm hoping it's not, I'm not going to walk too far down here because it looks a bit hot. I can hear grasshoppers. You can see some of the castling on this wall here, and then like a little feature there, a little tower. But there's, it's baking. Yeah, it's like midday. I'm in the baking sun here. Luckily I've got my water leads hat on. Hollybank Lane, share with care, cyclists slow down, pedestrians don't block the path, horse riders. Yeah, so there's all sorts going on here, but maybe we could just see a bit of the stream here, the river. And then I'll go back up to the village. You can see the setting of the church there, and then the castle. Yeah, lots of people are painting into the grounds of the castle there. But yeah, you can see things all right just from here, really. There you go. You see, so I mean, could have paid to see this lake in the castle grounds, but you can see it just from here. So you've got the landscaping around the castle grounds, Ripley Castle. You've got this lovely lake, you know, part of the sort of landscaping effect. And this is the exit from the lake. A little bridge you can walk over and all that here. But I'm on the public footpath bridge, so you can see it from here. Have a look here. So there's the stream running away down that way. So I'm just on this stone bridge, Hollybank Lane. Yeah, quite interested, yeah. I'll just go to this corner in case you get a view, another view of the landscape. You might not be able to. I'll just go to the corner and have a look, and then I'll walk back. You can see lots. So look at that wall there. There's like a really old wall, and the tree is sort of like the roots and everything grown up and around and like moulded itself around the wall. Look at that. Wow. How dry the fields are. So, you know, we've had the driest spring pretty much on record, I think. There's another, there you got a good view there, Ripley Castle, look. That's good, isn't it? Oh yeah, please, I came to this corner. There we go. Oh, the fields are bone dry. Yeah, record dry conditions in Yorkshire here. This should be like the wet corner where everything's running down a hill. Bone dry. But yeah, you get a good view just standing on here, look, for the lake and the castle and everything there. Very good, yeah. Just thought I'd prove that it was me. The water leads hat on, and yeah, got the lake and then Ripley Castle. Just having a look around. Right, so just yeah, I can't get more of a view because it's walls and trees and things. A little gate here to the ground. I think this could be, whether is there a deer park or something up here? Yeah. So look at that building up there. Maybe there's another cricket pitch, I don't know, at the top. This is probably a deer park, because if you look at the size of the protection around some of the trees, the castle's behind those trees there. Got a little seat here with a plaque on it, and then there's some, yeah, the path and the walks go out up that way. Let's have a look at this little plaque. Someone's put a QR code there. What's this? Please come and sit down a while with me. I'm Laura, Mary. Usborne. Born. Yeah. So it's just like a memorial plaque on a nice little wooden bench. There seems to be like a rotten bit in there. Maybe they were worried for danger. We're cutting it right down. Not very good if you're having a drink out though, is it? The noise of that. Yeah, I mean, people are trying to have their ice cream and all that there, look. That noise. Wow. That's the ice cream, the famous ice cream thing. Let's go and see how much they are. And see what some of this is. Chantry House Gallery. Have a look up here. That's just a little booth that people are sitting inside it, look, having their ice cream out of the noise. Contemporary contemporary and modern British art. 11 till 4. A lot of lavender in the village. Harrogate Tipple Distillery and Shop over there, it says. Got these little sheds at the back. Well, sheds, I mean they're stone. Whether they're stone toilets or outhouses at the back of each of these. Probably just originally for coal and wood and things like that for the fire. Estate cottages. Look at this building here. What this is. This is the town hall, 1854. I think it's the town hall, part of the town hall use only. So that's the town hall. I don't know if you can see anything inside there. It's just like a big function room. By 1850, the eccentric Sir William Armcott Ingleby had almost completed building the model estate village. All he needed was a town hall. So he built this Hotel de Ville. And it was unfinished by the time he died. Coming towards the end of the village here now. I think you can walk up there through the woodlands and all that up that way if you want to. But I'm going to have to get back to Harrogate because the film they're watching is 2¼ hours long, so that would suggest it finishes about 1:15. It's getting towards 1 o'clock now. So I'll yeah, I'll get back up that direction. There's a nice little play park here, look, with tractors and things here. Look, it's on this corner. Nice, isn't it? Yeah. More stone buildings and houses, you know, houses and big walls and things up that way. Yeah, okay. Looks like they've converted these stables into accommodation. Yeah, yeah, lots of lavender, lots of nice window boxes and plants growing up the walls and all that. Wow, look at the entrance to the primary school. That's amazing, isn't it? Got This version at the village. Might have been rebuilt twice. Route existing since the 1300s. Rebuilt as a model estate in 1830s by this Ingleby fella. Eccentric. Inspired by an estate village he went when he went to Alsace-Lorraine in France. Yeah. Scoop, soft serve. Everyone's sitting having their ice cream tubs and that. There's a little village store there with cakes and scones and all that there. People are sitting here having ice cream, and of course the noise is unbelievable off the machines and the chainsaws and everything here. Big job getting that down. There's a few people. I saw a lady in that art shop looking at the window, looking a bit sad at the tree getting cut down, because it must have been her view, you know, the lovely tree. Yeah, so it's supposed to be this little butcher's thing up here. Castle Meats. Grouse in August. September partridge, pheasants in October, rabbit when in season. We're closed. You think they'd be open on a Saturday? It's a lot of people here. It's closed, yeah. Maybe it's only open on a Saturday morning. Oh. Yeah. Right. We'll head back down. The car's just round this corner here, like just down there. Ooh, there's a little sign here. Let's see what this says. I was just about the farming heritage again. It's a similar sign to what's over there. Yeah. Right, we'll get back. Find somewhere to stop to pick them up. And Harrogate. Get back down there. Oh, it's warm, very warm. You've got to take the shaded route and the shaded parking spots if you can. Down here,